Hello guys, and again welcome back to our channel, the Cask Connoisseur, and today's video is going to be this little small can here that we've got right here, and it's made with bread. Chris, what do you think to that?
You don't make beer with bread. You make beer with malted barley,
Well, malt barley, yeah,
wheat, maybe
yeah.
bread, maybe. Okay.
It's an interesting one. So this basically the beer that we're trying today from the brewery called Toast Brewing, which is based down in London. And Toast Brewing brew all their beers with basically bread, which is called surplus bread. So effectively, it's like scraps. I would imagine it picking it up like that or something.
I suppose bread from the supermarket,
Yeah, that's it.
leftovers, whatever.
Leftovers.
It's an interesting concept, but if you think about it, all you really need to make any beer, alcoholic drink, is a fermentable substance.
That's
and
it.
bread is definitely fermentable.
Well, don't forget, bread contains yeast.
Yeah.
You know, so it's right. It's already right there, isn't it? To be fair. But again, Toast Brewery, they're only recently new. They've been going now for the past couple of years. But no, I think, to be fair, I just love the can. To be fair, I think the design on the can is absolutely amazing. And believe it or not, Chris, there is actually a brewery up just, well, not actually far from where we're based. Abbots Bromley Freedom Brewery. They've collaborated with Toast Brewing, and I think they're going to be producing some recipes, if not in the not long too distant future.
I have to admit, it's an interesting looking can,
Yeah,
and I do like that
mm.
that design.
And we don't really do cans, so this is probably like our third video because we did the sour beer, remember, which was canned.
Yeah.
They do tend to say that cans are probably best chilled in the fridge. Now, because of the day that we're on today, it's only like 11 degrees or something. It's pretty cold as it is, really. So I thought we'll give it a whirl. But no, I'm looking forward to trying this.
Yeah, no, interesting difference,
Yeah.
and see where we get.
Yeah, let's see if it actually tastes of bread, as they say. So we're going in here, and it's called New Dawn, and it's Toast Brewing's Session IPA. So sessionable IPA means it should be easy drinking. So let's have a look. Well, that's extremely pale.
Yeah, I'll agree
Blonde
with that.
straw.
Certainly a pale.
Picking up a ton of malt.
Yeah, a lot of malt in there.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a mild malt, not a
Yeah,
sharp
it's not a sharp malt.
Getting a bit of lemon though.
Bit of lemon. Not picking up any bread at the minute.
No, I think
No.
it'd be hard.
Yeah.
Maybe the only association with bread would be, you know, when you set bread to prove,
Yeah.
when you've mixed it all and you leave it in the bowl
Yeah.
to do its stuff.
To do its
there
stuff.
might be a hint of that coming off.
See, I'm going more brioche bread. I'm picking up a bit more,
Yeah.
bit of more sweety bread.
Interesting.
Interesting, but colour is amazing. Definitely pale, straw blonde.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, in my mind, I wouldn't say it's an IPA because I thought IPAs would, well, in my mind, would be a lot more darker.
I'd have argued darker. I mean, to me,
this is more like a golden ale.
It's a golden ale. Yeah, definitely.
So that's interesting. Oh, that nose has changed now. It's a bit more citrus coming through that nose now. Now I've just given it a little swirl around in the glass.
Yeah. Just before I took that little taste, I did spot the nose had changed a wee bit.
Right, let's go in. Oh, okay. I am gonna say that it's slightly mellowed on the palate. I think I'm picking like vanilla, vanilla extract. It's kind of an interesting texture. I think vanilla.
It's a thicker texture than you'd expect
Yeah,
looking at it
it's a thick.
in the glass.
That's it.
I mean, I'm struggling to identify specific flavours,
Yeah.
but possibly because the brewery's called Toast.
Yes.
I am, and remember that a lot of the time with what you taste and what you smell, there's always word association. And whenever you do a tasting,
Yeah.
do not discuss the flavour because you'll sit there and somebody next door to you say, "Oh, I'm getting licorice off this," and you go, "I'm not getting licorice," and then you take a mouthful and you go, "Oh yeah, there's licorice there," and that's kind of an auto suggestion. It's got a very bitter finish.
Yeah, I was going to say there's definitely a very big bitter kick going on there, but I think I'm just going to be picking up vanilla, probably a bit of honey. I'm just thinking of actually probably like putting marmalade now on my toast.
Yeah, I would go marmalade possibly. I would possibly go honey and I'm afraid, toast.
Yeah.
But it's honey and marmalade on toast without the butter.
Yes, without the butter. Yeah, take the butter off.
Yeah, you haven't put any butter on.
No.
I mean, to be honest.
And then on the nose, I'd say go for a bit of lemon curd because I know you picked up lemon earlier, but I'm thinking lemon curd.
Yeah, you could go lemon curd with that. I'd agree with that. It's definite strong point is that bitter finish. If you don't like bitter finishes, this would not be a beer for you. Definitely not.
Well, that sharpness is making me think of lemon drizzle. I'm thinking of eating a piece. Lemon drizzle. You've definitely got that texture of bread, but it's not a high texture. It's not it's not overpowering or anything, but there's something there, and it is that the sparks of vanilla, probably a little bit of lemon curd, the orange marmalade, and then finish it off with the honey. They're all combined together. So imagine like a big mixing bowl when you're mixing all that up together. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's definitely worth trying.
Yeah.
For me, there's too much bitter on the end.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean for you, and
No.
I know that others would actually go,
Yeah, I love that.
That's really lovely. So I think that, and that would even happen if this was down at our local pub. There's a group sit one side of the one corner of the bar, and we tend to stand on the other side. And I think that group would go, you know what, that's cracking. But yeah, a bit too bitter on the end. I like the palate.
See, I don't mind the palate. The only thing that's sparking me is I think the aroma's great. I think the aroma's completely spot on, but there's nothing really appealing to me in that palate to say, look, oh yeah, this is good. Because I'm sadly I don't feel like I'm picking up a good vibe. And I think the thing that's that has actually struck me is the colour, because I'm thinking of an IPA, I was expecting a darker IPA.
And this is the problem. There's a lot of beers that colour that are on the market these days. And people my age would generally be probably negative about beers that colour. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of wonderful craft beers out there that are that colour. And I know there's a lot of people like them. So I think potentially I quite like the taste. It's too much of a bitter finish, but that wouldn't stop me drinking it.
No.
I'd be quite happy to drink this. But it
doesn't
put me. Yeah, it's not a session, and it doesn't. And it's not that I'm. Wow, I've got to go and have more. I mean, in some respects, it's like let's come back to this on a different day.
I think it needs to be a warmer day.
Yeah.
To retry it, and probably chill it slightly more than what it's chilled now. So maybe chill it a bit more.
Yeah.
And see if that does actually change anything in my mind.
No, I could see this going down better on a hot, sunny day.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
So let's have a little bit of a read about it, and just so I can dive a bit more into Toast Brewing. So this is what their goal is and what they do basically. So they set out to make beer that tastes amazing and does amazing things too. That's why that they brew with surplus bread, which is turning, as we mentioned earlier, leftover loaves into liquid gold. It means less waste, which is true, and carbon emissions, which again is big because there's a lot of talk in the air a minute about climate change and all that. And this is a nice thing that I do like, which the brewery are doing. 100% of the brewery's profits go to environmental charities. So Mother Nature basically deserves a toast to that, which I agree. I think fair play to Mother Nature and the Earth, because they're doing something right there, which is actually, well, you're recycling, aren't you? You're recycling bread, so it's not getting chucked in the bin, and you basically turn it into beer, which I think is fantastic. There's no brewery out there which I know that does something like that, so it's remarkable. Anyway, tasting notes. So we've got here a hop-forward session IPA with a punchy citrus note. So I only picked citrus up once I swirled the glass around a little bit. At first, I didn't get any citrus. Bold yet subtle, floral and uplifting. Crafted with surplus bread, malted barley, and American hops. So there's definitely a lot of American hops going on there, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it one for me? I'm 50-50. I think basically because of the day that it is today, I'm afraid it's not as warm. It's not living up to my expectations, but that does not mean that I dislike this beer. It means I probably do need to retry it again in the future when it is a bit more warmer.
Those notes, I think, are accurate. I mean, the bit I pick up there is this kind of it's quite hard to differentiate the flavours. I forget the phrasing they used, but that's how I would put it. This for some will be a cracker, and I think if those notes appeal to you, then you definitely want to go out and buy this. But I'm with Luke. It could be it's the wrong day because I really want to give this, a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I love the look of the can. I love the idea of what the company is about. And I really want to be positive about it, but it is not a beer for me. But when I say that, beers this colour, that bitter, they're not a beer for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on sweet beers, not bitter beers.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a bit of an issue with me when I go, oh gosh, that's bitter. And it's not the only one that sells well out there, which that's what I get.
And that bitter is actually, now it's sitting very much now right at the end of my palate and all that, and it's just making, it's making my inside slightly dry. So it's very much a dry, not a refreshing finish. It's a dry finish. A few more points just to mention. So it's 4.3%. So, okay, class as a session beer. Would I put it as a session beer? For me, again, obviously depending on the day. At the minute, probably not. Toast Brewery have been obviously kind to us and sent us some more samples of not only of just the new session IPA, but we've actually got another 3 beers to try, which we will be doing in the future. Yeah, so I think they've got a lager. There's an alcohol-free beer as well, which we're going to be trying, and there's one more tropical beer as well. But no, I think if we came back on a different day, maybe, I don't know, let's say a month down the line and retried that, and I think we might be onto a different winner. And as I say, probably to chill that can down slightly more, than I think we'll be there. But just this time around, it's just not really it's not worked for me, unfortunately. And as I say, you win some, you lose some.
You lose some, exactly. I don't think we could really say anything else. Worth exploring. Worth looking out for. Different palate to mine, and that could be absolutely beautiful, without a shadow of doubt.
Definitely. So on that note, then, guys, as I say, just want to say, a massive thank you again to Toast Brewing for sending the samples out. We're looking forward to obviously getting our review put out to you guys so you can see it. As I say, we're completely honest in all our reviews, and we have to be at the end of the day. So not every review is going to be spot on where we say, look, yeah, we completely love this beer. Say today just isn't really right for us, this one. So, it's just one of those things. But please do keep a lookout on the channel. Make sure you give us a good old subscribe, like this video, give it a thumbs up and a comment. We can't wait to obviously be back again with more beery videos soon, and even some more whiskey videos as well. So, no, really looking forward to it, Chris, definitely.
Yeah, no.
And on that note, cheers to you all.
And good health.
And good health.